allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. As you know, this is our rescheduled meeting for the, supposed to be for the March the 12th meeting. What's it? It's, and if you would, I put a notepad up here for everybody who would like to speak today to please sign in so that way we know who is intended to speak. Has everybody done that? It plans on speaking?
We are video and recording.
All right. Okay. The first thing I'd like to go over here is on public participation at the township meeting is encouraged. In an effort to conduct township business in an orderly and effective manner, the Board of Trustees has adopted the following rules of public participation and conduct at the Tate Township meeting. Public participation at the regular meeting of the board is limited to 3 minutes per individual speakers. All comments and questions shall be addressed to the chairman of the board. Okay. The first thing I'd like to do is, as you all know, we had a vacancy for one of the trustee positions. So as it was posted and everything, we had took applications. There were 17 different individuals that actually, well, 15 of them sent in applications, and there was 2 other ones that showed interest, but they wanted to send in a resume. That I would just like to, I like to thank everybody because there was a really wide, people coming from medical backgrounds, school, education background, law background. There was a wide of qualifications to look into on this. Let's see. So at this time, I'd like to announce the person that we're going to award this position to. Her name is Kristen Steinley. You want to give a little background? She gave background stuff at her interview. She's somebody who's been coming to the meetings, or several of the meetings, for the past year, and she has volunteered some work here, just beginning on some resolutions and stuff. And anyway, if you
Hi, good evening. My name is Kristen Steinley. I know some of you. I recognize some faces. I'm sure I'll know everybody else here at some point. I have moved to the township in the last couple of years. I am a lawyer. I, as John mentioned, volunteered to help out on some various things, and I'm really looking forward to participating and moving forward. So thank you.
Okay, what I'd like to do is swear her in very first thing. So Kristen, if you don't mind coming up there. Okay, so you have with the right hand. I, Kristen Steinley,
I, Kristen Steinley,
do solemnly swear that I will support
do solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee
the duties of trustee
of Tate Township, Claremont County,
of Tate Township, Claremont County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
and during my continuance of this office.
and during my continuance of this office. Thank you.
Congratulations. And just so everybody, knows, it will be to fill the vacancy, and this will last until December 31st of 2025. Okay. We have another swear-in that we need to do. Yes. Kathy, if you would please stand. I, Kathy Brainett, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of fiscal officer of Tate Township, Claremont County, State of Ohio, during my continuance of office. You want to sign now? That way we have it done.
She signed it.
Okay, that way we don't.
Which one's which?
She signed that.
Right. She's gonna put her name
She
here.
was good. Yeah.
Sorry. He's here. Oh, this.
Okay, if you guys don't bear with us when we go through this, because I'm trying to explain to her this paperwork she obviously has not seen. So it's I'm gonna try to walk her through this that way she knows where we're at with all this. So there's paper here. This is mine.
It's gonna take us an hour. Okay, this is mine.
So I gave you to sign that one, so.
Sorry, guys. 200 seconds. He was. I think there's more. Sign this too. This one, sign here.
Mentions all of them at once.
Yeah.
So is that all? Is that it?
So you want to,
Okay, what I'd like to do also is, Kristen, do you mind? Hold those. And Yeah, you're second. Okay. Just one at a time.
Resolution to accept minutes of special meeting held January 30th, 2024.
I'll second.
Resolution to accept.
You gotta take a roll call. Well, okay, yeah, well, is it okay she reads them and then we vote on? Is it okay she reads them? And then we'll vote. Okay. Okay. Roll call. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, read the second one.
Resolution to accept minutes of February 13th, 2024.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution to approve special meeting minutes from March 20th, 22nd, and 25th.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution to approve February 2024 bills.
Yes. Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution to approve February 2024 payroll, EFTs, and withholding vouchers.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution to approve 2024 appropriation budget.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution to agree and accept the amended CBDG agreement extending the grant deadline to blacktop the cemetery shelter house parking lot.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Vote.
Probably understand what they're not taking action on.
Appreciate that.
All right, so that's everything we got to take care of on the official. Okay. Well, next thing we have is I'd like to get Mr. Stillwell with the fire report.
All right, you've got February fire EMS report submitted to you. 641 total calls, 31 on the fire side. We had $40,250 worth of damage, saved $99,000. It's $40,250 mostly from the barn fire down on 125 at Loudon's. Out the door in a minute and a half. On the scene is an average of 5.5 minutes. We did 8 calls in the village, 17 in the township, and we gave mutual aid 6 times. No injuries reported civilian or firefighter wise. EMS side, 108 EMS details, 57 in the village, 48 in the township. We gave mutual aid 3 times. Out the door in 1.3 minutes. Average response on the scene was 5 minutes each. Mileage for the month was 3,078 miles going to runs and hospitals. And for the year, for total, for all 3 squads that we rotate out, was 6,634 miles. Any questions on that?
Are any cars left?
Yeah.
I have no questions.
I have no questions. Who's up?
Number 2, we have completed our portion of the ARP grant money that was funded by the federal government that allowed us to put hydrants where needed throughout the community. There's still a lot of spots that need them, but money ran out. We had 3 additional hydrants since the last meeting. That brings the total to 65 hydrants. So that's a lot of progress throughout the township where we need water.
No, they're popping up everywhere like daisies.
It's good, too.
Number 3, we just have 1 blacktop quote ceiling for and striping for the parking lot here. We're due to get 2 more in. As soon as we get those 2 in, I'll recommend company to come in and get the ceiling and striping. Number 4 on the list, like I've been telling you, all our ground ladders and the aerial, the 100-foot tower was due to be tested. Everything passed, certified, including the 100-foot tower. That's huge. So that's done for another year. Skip to number 6, and I'll get back to number 5 last. Just to keep you updated, the building's 27 years old now. We paint every probably 6 years, 5-6 years. This end was done last year. Now the crews, they've just about completed the other end of the building, which includes the kitchen, the day room, the bunk rooms, the locker rooms, the restrooms, the laundry rooms, and the hallways. So that's done for another, hopefully, 5 years. Last thing under old business I have is just give me an update as far as, I know there's some things that's going on here, but where do we stand on getting the proper documents shredded? Have we contacted the proper people to get this done, or where do we stand?
Want to be the chairman?
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's all I've got under old. You go to the new or wait or?
Go ahead and do what you do.
All right, number 1 on the new business, we've received another grant from the State Fire Marshal's Office. This is the second one we've received in the past 3 months. This one's $15,000 for personal protective equipment, so that'll buy us 5 complete sets of turnout gear. There's no match required from the township. It's always a good sign. Number 2 on the list, I bought a vacuum for the township building across the street. Rob approached me and said that vacuum hadn't worked. I could tell. I went over there, man, you could rake the floor. I bought a new vacuum. I vacuumed the place, so it looks good now. And I've also contacted Tim Parker, who's a local resident who does gutters. I had him go over there and look at the front gutter, which is above the door, the entrance door to that building. Every time it rains, it pours out. Rainwater goes down the hole that it does in the downspout. When it freezes, you know what that does. So as soon as he gives me an estimate, if it's reasonable, if you don't care, I'll go ahead and have him do it.
I was going to ask, do we need to get a couple?
It's not if it's under a certain amount.
Okay.
Number 3 on the list, the water fountain across the street, apparently caught on fire. Luckily, Rob was there, or unluckily, Rob was there. I don't know how you want to look at it, but you know how I feel about that building. But anyway, it caught on fire. We took the thermal imaging camera over. Rob unplugged it. Kind of scolded him for that, but he unplugged it.
What was your response time to that?
It was pretty bad. But anyway, we shot the walls. It was 80 plus degrees up high. It wouldn't have taken long. But anywho, the back of the walls got some black marks right behind the water fountain. You guys want to replace that water fountain? I think Rob and Deputy Pike can, if you all use it, then we'll replace that. But if you don't,
I would, doesn't get used, doesn't it?
I would suggest not replacing it.
I agree. If you're not going to use it, it might catch on fire.
Is that good what you got?
Oh, hold on, is the rock having?
Breakers off or wire that thing, somebody else will come in there and.
Yeah. Okay, I can do that tomorrow. Number 4, I would like to recommend accepting a resignation letter from a part-time firefighter EMT. His name's Christian Manning. He took a full-time job at Central Joint down the street. He's in paramedic school. His letter reads, this letter is to advise the chiefs of the Bethel Tate Fire Department I'll be resigning from my role as PRN, Firefighter 2 EMTD. I feel I will not be able to contribute to the schedule due to my full-time job and me currently attending medical school. This will take place my last scheduled day as of March 29th. I'm truly thankful for the opportunities and experiences I was able to obtain while working for Bethel Tate Fire Department. Just recommend you accept his resignation.
Okay, so we, I guess, gonna go ahead and accept this resolution. Resignation letter. Kristen Manning.
I'll second it.
Okay. Yes.
And the last thing on my list, were you done with that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good.
We've had several meetings with the solar farm people. Vesper is the company that's in charge of that. We've had several meetings with them, both in person and on Zoom calls. We've had one training out there. We have scheduled 2 more trainings so we can get everybody familiarized with the whole, every gate, every area of that place, both in Brown and Claremont counties. Some of our requests, and they've already had it on order, is signage on all the entrance gates that will have emergency contact information. The troubleshooters and the responders, actually the company that is running the place is called NovaSource. Their troubleshooters are out of Peebles. So we get any kind of a call out there as far as fires or whatever, we treat it just like we do as if a substation with Duke was on fire. We contain the fire around the area, let it burn until their responders get here. So just to give you an update, that's what's going on. We also went through, there's 2 substations out there. One is Vespers, which is a DC substation. The other is a Duke, which transfers from DC to AC, and their substation is out closer to the road. So we've been through their DC substation. But like I said, we have more trainings to go. Equipment is up in the air as far as what they're willing to give us, what we're wanting. So we're kind of going back and forth with them on that. Other than that, that's all the update I've got on that.
Do they seem like they want to cooperate with you?
Yeah, they do right now. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That company, NovaSource, is has taken care of other areas, and I think they're the ones that actually called what's needed from Vesper, and Vesper is, up until this point, is giving what they need. So it's up to us to keep on.
Yes. Just keep us up to date on that stuff.
So, well,
Thank you, Rick.
That it?
that's it. Thank you.
Good job. Okay. Next thing I'd like to do is the police report. This right.
All right, you guys got my stuff there. Calls were down in general. Same types of calls still responded to, but just in general from January. I personally responded to 63 calls, took 8 reports, conducted 8 investigations. I closed out 10 reports, recovered $300 in stolen property, had 6 warrant arrests, and I assisted other departments 23 times. Below that, you're going to see the list of types of calls that were responded to in the township for the month of February. This coming Thursday, I participate in some active shooter training. It's going to be conducted in Milford. So that's going to be an all-day thing. So I'll be responding to that later this week.
So it was just one burglar, right?
Yeah, it was kind of it wouldn't be what I classify as your typical burglary. It was kind of a known possible family member suspect type deal. So it's not what you would think is your normal run of the day burglary, but it was just classified as that.
Looks good, real good.
Any questions? Kristen? Kristen, yes?
No, fine.
Yep, good job.
Good report.
Appreciate it. Okay, so,
Ryan, why did you turn?
no.
You might have Chris maybe do this.
Okay, next one we'll do is, Mr. Rob Williams with the zoning report.
Okay, I'll start with the old news. I am reversed. February the 20th, I went by 2564 Sawdare Maple Road. Complaints before about the junk. I talked to them before. They've cleaned up more, but there's still more need to be done. It was such a mess. They're not, a lot of these places, it's not going to get done that week. So I try to give them time. I go by about every 2 to 3 weeks and see if they're still making progress. If they do, then I kind of just leave them alone and make sure they keep doing it when they stop or start building it back up. Then I get on them again. So that's that one. More 6, 3305 Big Joy Drive. This guy has got probably about 10 junk cars out there. He finally got rid of one of them. And I told him, I said, if I come back again and there ain't at least half of them moved out, I'm going to give him one of the nice little letters that people don't really care for and go from there and see what happens.
You reported to us a few times there, right?
Yeah. So that's old news. New news. Out on Sunset, had to talk to the guy about getting rid of some of his junk. He's got a couple trucks he needs to get rid of soon. He said he was going to, that they actually didn't belong to him. Some of his buddies are semis, but he's getting rid of them. So I'll give him a little time to get that done. 307 on Sunset. The guy had an old truck, broke down there. He had a Jeep with no back wheels, all jacked up on jack stands. Had 4 little kids out there running around in his yard. And when I kind of explained to him, hey, bud, that's not real safe. He said, give me 3 days. He said, the wheels will be back on the Jeep and the truck will be gone. I went back by a week later and he done exactly what he said.
Good,
so that was good. The storage units down there, the sign that was ran over, I talked to Mr. White, and he said as soon as the weather was permitting, that he was going to get out there and clean it up, start putting up a new sign. I just went by the other day, and yeah, he's already starting to put up a new sign, so that's taken care of. 130 Sterling Road. Guy likes to park his trucks alongside the road. Can't hardly see to get out from the lower house. There wasn't nobody home, so I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can get hold of the guy again. I went out there last year, had almost the same scenario, and the guy did move him, but I have to go back out and see if I can get hold of the guy and talk to him.
You don't have much parking after doing it.
That's the only place the fellas got to park, and legally, I talked to Mr. Pike. He talked to State Highway Patrol. As long as he's on the other side of the white line, he can legally park there.
I drove by there, it's just my house to park.
But it is a dangerous situation for the house down below because there is a park bus that comes in and out of there, pick an elderly lady up. So it's kind of a dangerous situation. Out on Bethel Concord Road, everybody knows about the dog warden was out there, all that kind of stuff. Beginning of March, I went out there, was driving by it, and the lady that owned the property was out there, and she was actually cutting down a bunch of trees and stuff. It's got a long, long ways to go, but I talked to the lady. She was very nice to me. She said she has cancer, so she can only do so much at a time. The other fellow was living there, and he's still in the jail. What's going to happen once he gets out, I don't know, but she is slowly, looks like she's cleaning up a little bit. Fellow from the Board of Health did call me, though, and said that they had found some violations. We're looking more into the property, so What they're gonna do, I don't know. So, that's my report.
They showed a little bit of interest to try to help us.
They didn't try to help me none at all, but, you know,
This on the right hand side out there with all the smart tractor stuff and front yard stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of those ones up there on Sunset, I guess his vehicle has expired tax on.
you're talking about the trucks?
The trucks is, yeah, not the Jeep, the trucks on, it's like 307.
No, they didn't have expired tags.
They did or did not?
No, they did not have expired tags.
Okay, thanks, thank you.
That's it.
Okay.
Good job. Ready to stay on them and at least getting something moving forward with it.
We'll just better know.
Questions, Kristen?
Any questions?
Okay, next we'd like to move on to the cemetery and street report. Mr. Ed Stanley.
Cemetery report, month of February, had 2 burials, had 1 foundation order come in, sold 2 graves. Cemetery was kind of slow, which is a good thing for the month of February. We are in the process of reseeding graves, ruts, any kind of damage we've done through the winter. This is one of the weather times of the year, constantly dealing with this problem. The Plant World Mowing Company is scheduled to start their process tomorrow, weather permitting. They'll be mowing. They're not going to give me all the gear that they can give me, but they're planning on working. Like I said, they're going to start on tomorrow and see what they can get done and see how it works out. It's a learning process for everybody.
Just to let us know how it works out.
Yes. Well, everybody will let you know how it works out.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be good.
Right.
The new Gator, the 2023 Gator we just purchased, has a pretty decent oil leak. Talked to him yesterday, and it's still under warranty. I got to get it down there to him. Probably going to be 2 to 2.5 weeks before they get to it. They want to have it on site to start tearing into it and figure out what they need to order. The Conrad thinks it might be a simple thing as an O-ring. It's where 2 plates come together. You can see the gas is starting to squash out, and that's where the oil leak's coming down. You can literally see the oil leak running as you've got running. So
Is that
fixed like that's underwater.
Is that a 23?
It is 23.
Okay, there was also a recall on the coils that are causing fires.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, on the 23 John, you know if you guys have?
Yeah.
There's a recall, and what's happened, the coil is shorting out and catching on fire. They recommend hooking your battery. I talked to John Deere about one we have, and they're still waiting to hear something. Just, heads up as far as sending the battery post goes up.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So while it's down there, if they can do with that, that's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
it's a Kawasaki motor. I mean,
What?
it's a Kawasaki motor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's a John Deere Gator.
right, Kawasaki motor, yeah. Like I said,
Okay.
we had ours down there when they first got it, and sit there for a month, and I went down and got it, and they still haven't heard anything. Talked to Tyler down there. He's still waiting to hear from John Deere to see what the fix is.
Okay. Now, do they still have it there now?
No, I only got it, but
Oh.
brought it home on the Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mention that when we take it down there. Ordered 2 30 by 30 loose gravel signs. The process out on Moore Road where we're doing the full depth repair is creating a lot of loose gravel after we, as we work in there. That's the only way I can compact it back up, to do it in layers and using stone. Well, more often than not, there's some loose stone on the road. It's becoming motorcycle season. I want to get a couple signs out, one on each end of Moore Road, which is the Moore Road that we are blacktopping this year. I want to get some good signs out for people to realize that there is some loose stone. They're, I think the signs are $77 a piece. They're bright orange, they're construction signs, metal and posts. whenever we get that job done, get it blacktopped, I'll pull the signs and we'll use them at other places, but they'll be reused. We'll, stuff like that, to do it. Plus shipping, I think shipping was $42, and I went ahead and ordered some, marking paint from that company, typically where I get it.
Is that $288
Ooh,
for the signs?
would be 140 for the sellers, plus
Okay.
41 shipping.
Okay.
Somewhere in that area. I'm not sure how much the paint is. I mean, it's I've got 2 cases of white marking paint through them. We've gone to Lowe's, we've gone to different places and got paint. You never know what you're buying. A lot of times it's been frozen and it's no good.
Right.
So you waste.
Sounds good.
You waste. I don't have an actual number on that. Like I said, I know the sign was like $77, but I do not know what the paint is, so it's gonna be higher than that. Assisted the fire department one time on one tree removal on Macedonia Road after hours. That's all I have. Any questions?
I have none.
I have a couple. I had just giving a little progress report on the shelter parts. Where are we at on that?
I have not got those ordered yet. As you all know, I've been off for a little while. I'm still on a hit and miss thing. I'm doing the best I can. I have not got those ordered yet. I do have some paperwork to take to Road County Construction pertaining to the grant money for the blacktop parking lot. When I'm on my way down there, I'm wanting to stop at Ripley and actually make that order. I'd like to see the guy face to face, make sure we're both on the same thing.
Right.
I don't know.
You know where
I
you're
might have to
located?
make
You know where
two
you're
trips.
located?
Excuse me?
You know where you're located?
I got the address on the slip that you had.
Yeah, when you got Realtor there across the bridge, right on the right hand side, I've got a real nice building. I mean, it's on the left hand side.
Okay.
Just across the bridge. See?
I'll write it all down. I'll get with you. You'll
Yeah.
tell me again.
Good people.
Very good. But anyway, I wanted to do it on the same time if I can. If not, I'd like to do it by the end of next week to get down there to make that order.
Yeah, because he's got to order the material.
Sure, sure.
Something else I got a question on is the email you forwarded us today about the solar. The reason I'm asking is Rick was saying about how the fire department's going out there and they're giving them a routine about I don't remember the gentleman's name. I'd have to look it back up. But he was saying something, asking you to meet with you to go over the conditions of the roads. Is there anything with that? Have you got a date or anything set or?
I just got that email today.
Yeah.
No, and it was afternoon before I actually read it. I haven't had time to call him. I need to talk to Eric Ely. He's actually over top of that. I need to get with him, get his thoughts on it. Kind of like everything else, I'm going to aim high
Okay.
to get what I can, you know.
Yep, we're good. I just got it. And I just want to see what was going on.
And I just got it.
I would like to meet.
Sorry.
They make signs, they do all kinds of road signs and stuff.
Yeah.
They make signs for us.
Yeah, I'm not saying they won't. We've been dealing with this company.
Okay.
I mean, I'll chat.
Because they're.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're still.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you meet with the solar people out there about the road condition, if you don't mind, call me if I can, I'd like to come out.
Okay.
When you and Eric is out there, okay, just let me know.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim high. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get in the ditch. I'm gonna try to get them to call them everybody. But
So I think the county took tons of pictures, didn't they?
yeah, they videoed it. As far as I
That's
know.
what I thought, yeah, so there's good evidence there.
Yeah, but I mean, they can't expect much because they were much count before they started. But you know, we'll see. I'm gonna get as much as I can.
Well, we'll see how it works between the fire department and the
Right.
maintenance department, and see what's, they're gonna man up.
Right.
Okay.
That it?
That's it for street report. Good job, Ed. Okay, guess now we're on to new business here. First thing I'd like to do is, Kathy, I mentioned to you about the Conroe County Farm Bureau, asking about the application renewal. And,
Which one do you hear? This is
I didn't even open this up, so it's just, I left it sealed. This is for the trustees itself.
Okay, this is mine first.
Yeah. This here is for the trustees itself. Just so you know, I have talked to her last week, let her know, give her a little brief about what's going on here, or that we will be getting back to her soon. But it's, I would like to recommend that, we renew that membership so that way we can get the expertise of Dale Arnold on our solar business.
A second.
Yes. Right. The next one on that is, the business I have here is, this is just not really an ask or anything, but we're just letting everybody be aware that, Russ and I have discussed and, about going to the town meeting, because everybody keeps talking about.
Village town.
Yeah, about the village meeting. And it'd be on, excuse me, it'll be on April the 11th. We're doing, excuse me, it's, Sabrina, the woman that came in here, was offering to help us out with the grants. She sent us an email letting us know that there's some grants out there where we team up with Bethel, that it'd be more likely to get some of these grants. So we're going to go to the meeting and just let them know that we are here, we are willing to work with them. So that's just people follow up with people here, because I know there might be some questions for some people. So that's where we're moving forward with that.
That's the 11th, right?
Yeah, it's on April the 11th. Are there any questions? Yeah, I do believe it's 6:30. I have to look into it. Greg, you always go there. Their meeting's at 6:30, correct?
5:30.
That's right.
5:30.
Yeah, they're the early bird. Okay. All right.
You didn't make the motion on the marijuana?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and make a resolution on the moratorium for up to 12 months for the medical marijuana dispensary. So we can get get them together for done.
Okay, so, for 4 months.
Well, the Tavies was 6 months. Can we go 6 months or just do 12?
We should be able to do that in 6 months.
Tavies wants, you think you gotta stay there, land?
Give it 6 months.
6 months.
Is it? I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Okay. I move to accept the resolution to put a moratorium on freeze on any and all retail marijuana sales in Tate Township for 6 months, unless earlier modified until regulation can be submitted and filed. Yes.
Yes.
All right, the next thing that I have for new business is solar resolution. I know it has, people have some concerns about it. As stated in February's meeting, that it was ready to be submitted then, but there were some citizens that brought a couple facts to me that I thought was very, very important that needed to be added to this. And we were going to submit it on March 12th. And I am here to submit it now, let everybody know that it is here. And then the reason, that was one of the reasons why I was talking about renewing the membership for the Farm Bureau, because I want to ask for permission to be able to send this to Dale Arnold so he can review it. Just to let everybody know about, now I'm not going to get into brief detail because it is, I do believe, 24 pages long. Yes, but to clear it up and let everybody know why I thought it was very important to add these clauses is, again, I guess it's back in August, September, somewhere around there, I had made the comment in meetings that I wish somebody would bring some resolutions to make sure we get everything in this. And a citizen brought this to my attention right before March's meeting. And this is a resolution that's passed on June the 10th of 2020. It's with Claremont County and Nestlewood. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but what it breaks down to is Nestlewood is getting $7,000 per megawatt per year, the solar being out there. So they're 80 megawatt. So that is $560,000 they're getting a year. And there's been some questions to some of the commissioners and stuff, and asking concerns, and I know there have been concerns here, but we don't want to be like Brown County 6 years after they're in, that they still haven't received any money. But the question was brought to the commissioners, and nobody can come up with any numbers about what we're going to get. So,
I've gotten them.
do you?
They're not concrete, they're projected. And all boils down to what the Ohio Department of Development says. They're the ones that put the numbers out. Tate Township will get 53,000 plus. Road and Bridge will get 5,900. Police will get 1,500. Fire will get 43,500. Stuff will take local schools, total 119,000. Grant vocational, 18 plus. Roughly bringing the total to Tate Township of $224,000. 2,000 a megawatt goes straight to the county. That's 64,000. Bringing the total to 288.
We're getting a big share of it,
That's not set in stone. Those numbers came straight from the deputy auditor in Claremont County. I can give you a copy of that right now.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
To the 7,000 megawatt.
So it's 9,000 total, 2,000 goes to the county, 7,000 goes to Claremont.
Correct.
There's all the paperwork. Like I said, those aren't concrete figures from what they told me, but it gives you some type of a projection, depending on what their output's going to be.
Well, that goes into play with what I have, because it's as if nobody could find anything. I mean, I know I looked, I couldn't find anything, and they were asked, and the only question was given to a citizen was one of the commissioners made a comment that said, you know that we get the majority of that money. I myself, I mean, yes, that's some good money, but again, it doesn't sound like anything's set in stone. We don't really know, we can't get a definite answer, and I didn't like that idea. And so when this, like I said, when this resolution was handed to me and I saw this, and it's like, okay, it's because it does stay here 9,000 per megawatt, and then, but when, like I said, you take that 2,000 away, it comes down to 7,000 per megawatt. So it's, I don't like the idea that we sit back and the township residents are the ones that have to look at it, deal with it on a daily basis, but yet we don't know what we were supposed to just sit back and wait till they decide what they want to give us.
Well, it's basically, it's the state of Ohio is the ones controlling it. So, and I'm not for solar, I'm not against it, but the state of Ohio is regulating this, and they'll come up with those figures, and it will go through the auditor's office, so they'll be like everybody else. They're tax exempt, but they're paying on what their output is. So,
So yeah, what was put in here in the solar resolution for Tate Township, basically the same thing. $7,000 per megawatt. And it's put in, let me back up here. There was a application fee, because everything I read on other townships and stuff like this, they always said that there's an application fee, but nobody's ever said anything about any dollar amounts. So again, I don't think it'd be wise, and we're not looking out for the citizens, if we sit there and just leave that open. So it was suggested that we do, it was suggested we come up with a application fee, and I suggested, when I did it, was $1,000 per megawatt for an application fee. And that's what we get up front when they come see Mr. Williams about an application to get started. And then on this $7,000 per megawatt, it is labeled in here as an annual operating fee. So, and it states that these fees must be paid in full before they can open the doors. It's none of this stuff sitting back, because all I kept thinking about was Brown County. 6 years into it, and I heard, and I don't know for sure, but I heard that they are somebody's starting to get some money now. But I didn't want us in the future to be a situation where we are the same thing. So in that, and you're talking about the equipment and stuff, because I know by talking to us about some of the fire equipment that some of you are on a 4-year waiting list for some of this stuff. It's crazy, and but that's what we have to deal with. So it also states in here that on the equipment, that before they get operated, and this means that they have to get their ducks in a row before they decide they want to build a future one in this township. And it states that all the fire equipment, if let's just say Mr. Stillwell finds out that there's some equipment that we need, and so we don't leave the residents in harm's way, that equipment must be bought and here before they're allowed to open up. So I thought that was a very, like I said, between the 7,000 per megawatt, is that, let's just base it off of, I know we can't go up to 50 megawatt or anything like that, so let's just base it, say it's a 40 megawatt. Times that by 7,000 per megawatt, that's $280,000 we get every year as an annual operating permit. The other thing that I was concerned about, and a lot of other people were concerned about, was once it's sold several times, the 4th, 5th company into it, they say, we don't have to meet those requirements. That's what you have with the first company. The annual operating permit, when they renew it every year, states that they agree with the original terms of our resolution. So they can't get out of saying it. I'm sure they'll want to fight it and stuff like that, but at least we have something here. So there's all kinds of stuff out there stating that, there wasn't nothing here wanting to know where the solar was, the solar resolution was. Well, I thought that dollar amount when I saw it was probably one of the biggest, I say top 3 things that should have been in here, and that's why I added it to this. And again, I want to thank the people, the residents who found this information out to me, and I've been saying from day one, if it wasn't for the people, it's still, I stated several months ago, I think we need to make sure if there's 10 things that need to be in this resolution to cover our township and our citizens, we need to make sure they're all in there. I don't want to put 4 of them in it and then come back and find out later that we messed up. Well, that's why when that resolution came up, I thought it was very important that we added 2 hours. And so I hope that cleared up some
So is this finished?
This is finished. And what I would like to do now is, since we voted about renewing our Farm Bureau membership, I would like to take a vote and move that we move this forward, and we email it to Mr. Arnold so that way he can review it. And what he did in the past is he gave me several dates that his agenda was open, and then we didn't get to that point because we ran into some other problems with past resolutions. But we get to that date, and we'll set it, and we'll have a Zoom meeting with all the trustees here. We'll have to pull a special meeting and see what his suggestions are.
Now, we do have to become a member.
Now, we're still a member until it's June. Ours is March, but the townships is June 15th or 17th, somewhere around there. It's in June. Okay, that's when we joined up. Heather Utter who's with the Farm Bureau, she did admit, I questioned her on that one, and she said, yes, we are still good till June. But anyway, I would like to, I recommend that we send this forward to Dale Arnold for his review, so we can get his input on it. Yes. And something else I forgot, and some of these concerns and stuff, they're wondering where the resolution was. So I went back to my notes and I looked. This is the 5th draft that has been submitted on solar. The first 2 drafts were submitted by Choice 1. And then the 3rd, 4th, and 5th is what I was asking from the citizens and we were putting together. So there has been action going in on all this. Like I said, there's some people out there concerned that there's been nothing happening and want to know where it is. And just to get everybody updated, this is the 5th draft since September. So things have been happening, it just takes a little bit. So is there any questions on that?
I just want to give you some input. I don't know if anybody else here has received anything. On March the 1st and again on the 19th, I've gotten 2 from Pivot Energy, interested in 20 acres in Tate Township.
You received the same.
So they're still actively out here trying to get more acreage for solar.
What's important, is
I mean, I'd just like to say also for the record that, I mean, 288,000 might sound like a lot, but if you're living next to it, it's not a lot. So, you know, it's not always about the money, especially if you live there.
Well, if you guys don't mind, I know Greg, you're on the list. Would you mind adding that to your questions for when you get up here? Okay. I
I'm
don't
not
think
on
you're
the
on the
list.
list, but
No.
if you don't mind.
Absolutely. That's what I did.
So it's absurd.
Yep.
Well, is anybody else got anything new that they want to add? Okay, well, what I would like to do at this point, we're going to open it up for public comment. And so, the first one we have on the resolution for the marijuana. That is the marijuana. She can go back. She can go back to Chris. Okay. So at this point, I'd like to open it up for public comment, and the first one we have on the list here is Greg Schuler.
No, a couple things. I guess number one, you're talking about the new zoning. When might we expect that to be available for the public to review or comment on?
Okay, what we have to do with the process is that's why, let me start. The way the process goes is if the resolution's put together, really none until it reaches the zoning commission. And the zoning commission will have a public meeting. That's one of the reasons.
You're submitting it to who?
Hold up.
To the county?
Yeah, what we have to do, we're gonna submit it to Dale Arnold first, get his opinion on it. And then when he gets back, we'll see if he says any changes or anything like that. And let's say, just a hypothetical here, if he does say that we need to put some changes into it, we'll make them. And then at that point, we will have to send it to Julia, and then have her overlook it. And Julia is our prosecutor who represents us. And we will submit it to her. And then once everything gets okay through her, then it goes to the zoning commission, or Tate Township. and then they go through it, and then there is a process that they have to go through. They will sit there, see if they like it, if they want to make any changes or anything like that. And if there is changes, they have to be made with them. But they do have, I don't have the timeline here in front of me, but I think they have like 10 days to make the changes and have a public meeting so that way the public can see what's in it. Okay, and then like I said, there's a process. Now, just keep in mind, once everything has been accepted by Julia, it will take, the process takes, it could be up to 90 days. By the time it goes from the zoning commission to the planning commission.
The zoning board has to adopt it as well.
Yes. Yes.
And then they'll open that up
Yeah,
to the public.
Yeah. The zoning board.
Will the
zoning
public have any input on it?
commission, when the zoning commission has it, they will have a public hearing. That's when the public will comment on it.
Okay. It's a process, I understand that. Yeah. Okay.
Right now, I'll be honest with you, if somebody wants to meet with me, I don't have a problem. I will meet with them and let them know what's in it. 'Cause right now, this is the citizen and Tate Townships put together. It's not attorney-client as of right now.
Okay.
And, I mean, I won't sit down and break it line for line, but
Or make it available online or
we
something.
can't do that. I have no problem right now because it's what the citizens brought to us and we have put together on this. So, said it's not attorney-client right now, so I don't have a problem. That's why I was sharing about the $1,000 per megawatt, and then also the like fire department stuff. And different times, I've stated in here in past meetings. Let's just give you an example of pine trees. Go out past Nestlewood right now. They got 2-foot pine trees. There's nothing in there. There is a bond that's in this thing. It's a maintenance bond, and it gives us. It states when they plant those pine trees out there, in any future solar that might be accepted in this area, that the pine trees have to be 8 foot tall, planted every 15 foot apart. They have to be staggered 2 rows, 10 foot behind it, and then they're staggered so that way when they're in. When you drive past them, you won't see the fence and solar panels. You'll see 8-foot pine trees blocking it. And the reason I brought up that bond is there's stuff in there about, let's just say on the south side, 15 trees die. Right now, 15 trees die out there, or 100 trees die out there. They would plant them whenever they feel like it. This resolution states that somebody notify us, Mr. Williams, will notify them that they're in violation if the trees are dead, and they have to replant those trees by the next planting season, which in this area is in spring and fall. So it's not, hey, you're in violation, and then we have to take them to court to make them replace it. This bond gives us, the township, the right to submit them under violation. If they don't fix it by the next planting season, then we can go out and get 2 bids from a third-party contractor. We take the highest bid, again, to try to make them fix it themselves.
This is for the new zoning.
This is for the new zoning. So this is the kind of examples I've been giving everybody. I mean, this thing is, we have taken it from, I should say, there's been information given to me from, one of them was Michigan, which I know Michigan is not Ohio law, but there was some very good states in it, but Xenia, Cedarville, Shawnee, these are all people, Jefferson Township, they're all people that have already been dealing with other solar projects. And so, again, I just thought it was smart to adopt some of the stuff that they had. Let's learn by their experiences. And so it's.
Yeah, I've heard some of it in the
I
past.
mean, you like the vegetation out there.
None of it's been changing.
Some of the plants they put in there are foundation, for evergreen. Things like that. Not spruce trees, white pine, things like that. It's like, they did that so it won't get
Let's put the first draft that I sent to Mr. Arnold, it was somewhere September, October, somewhere around there. He said it's quite different than everybody else because I've seen some of the other township zoning, and I've actually talked to them. And basically, they just go over permit central and Batavia asks for permits and it gets started. There is very little guidelines. So, I mean, I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And it's not because of me, but I'm proud of all the citizens that came in here and for several months and given us all this information. And like I said, it's a group
Yeah,
deal.
it's still gonna depend on prosecutor's office, what they
Right.
approve and stuff too, so
Just goes, once the
it's
stage
still-
goes through.
There's still several stages. So like I said, once it gets accepted from Julie and everything, you're looking.
still a work in progress.
Just talk about the day.
I think it's supposed
Yeah, I
to be-
just,
it's
I wondered when
supposed
the public can see it, but we can,
Yep.
we have a chance. Okay, there are a couple things left hanging, in the February meeting we talked about. One of them was that receipt for $300 worth of Subways, and you said it was in the April minutes, but you talked about it at the April meeting. But I looked back several months in the meetings, there's no mention of it,
I didn't say
being
that.
discussed or approved. I mean, I
Let
can,
me respond to that.
it's, so, that was your reply that it was.
Well, it wasn't, I didn't state it was in the April minutes. I stated that I submitted it. And I submitted the food. I explained how there was two food bids that we got. One of them was from the feed mill, and then one of them was from the Blitzby, and the other one was from Subway here in Belleville. And I submitted them. Let me pull the file here real quick.
And you did say that at the last meeting, but, I just never saw where it was approved.
I said I submitted it.
Or when, yeah, or how. It didn't look like it was voted on, and, that was the question about it.
My job is I took it to the chairman and the vice chair, and it was,
I wanna go out real quietly. I just wanna walk away. Yep, I don't want nothing, I don't.
it was submitted to the chairman and vice chair, and that's on, let me see, I think it was March.
I just wanna go with.
I don't want to take up everybody's time here, but yes, it
Yeah.
was
Let me
submitted.
respond to his answer, okay, that's a question. When you go to the trustee association meeting, okay, it's an honor to be invited to these townships, okay? Everyone you go to, they cater, they feed. So for you to bring up twice about a receipt, that we have a receipt, we cancel check, what's the big deal? I mean, it's, first of all, they came out here, it's an honor. They wanted us to go to the solar and stuff.
The township paid for it.
Right. And when they paid for it, I was a trustee, then they paid, they did, they got bids and stuff, they did it, okay? I think these other things are more important, more than about who paid for the subway scam. Okay, actually, I go to, Union Township, they get Cincinnati, was it?
Well, there's a proper way of things being done.
Right, this is the second time about
That's
that.
all. Because it wasn't resolved.
It wasn't done.
That was all.
On my end of it, it was done properly, because like I said,
Okay.
I submitted it to the
Okay.
chairman and the vice chair. They both approved the food list, and the vice chair actually made the comment that Subway was almost $50 cheaper. And they said, one, because it was cheaper, and two, since it was a local business, that we should give our business to Subway. And it was unanimous, all three of us said yes, agree on it. So they asked me to go ahead and go through
Yeah,
with
I
it,
don't
so.
know where the agreement, okay, that's what you're saying.
And then on May the 9th at 6:34 PM, I submitted the receipt, because that meeting was on April the 20th. So I submitted the receipt, which is on file. So yes, I did what I was supposed to do.
Okay. As far as the special meeting at the end of January, did you ever approve the minutes on that? I didn't hear it February, I didn't hear it tonight. I know you approved the other two special meetings recently, but
Yep, here it is. Very first one that's passed tonight. Resolution to accept the minutes of special meeting held on January 30th, 2024.
Okay, oh, good. I couldn't hear in the back. Just one more thing. The people have been asking about the cleanup days coming up. Has that been scheduled yet?
June 7th and 8th, right, Ed?
Yes. 7, 8.
Okay, oh, good.
Thank you. Okay, the next one we have on the list is Lynn Beebe.
I really don't have anything, I guess, at this point. You took care of it.
All right, the third one on the list is Shelby Barrett.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to make 3 minutes, but, okay.
Yeah.
Couple of things. Oh, we're gonna start the timer this time? That's all right. Rules are rules. Okay, so I had made some notes here. I didn't know it was gonna come up here. We were talking about the payment in lieu of taxes agreement. You guys were talking about that, noting out, tried to keep notes here on what Rick was saying. It's about 280,000, I think it was the number we said.
288.
288,000. Just a comment on that. It's a far sight from the $360,000 that was marketed to the school by Desselwood back in the day in 2018.
Right.
Devils are the details, right? So again, on that subject, I had it up here in front of me. The resolution that the county passed, 105-20, references Ohio Revised Code 5727.75G. This is the payment in lieu of taxes agreement for the approval of a qualified energy application project in Clermont County. Now, if we go to the detail of 5727G, 5727.75G, apologies. I heard it said here tonight, we're talking about their output. That is not the way state law reads. State law 5727.75, section G. The owner or lessee pursuant to a sale and leaseback transaction of a qualified energy project shall make annual service payments in lieu of taxes to the county treasurer on or before the final dates for payments of taxes on public utility personal property. Now, 5727.75, where are we at here? Section 1, it says, in the case of a solar energy project, $7,000 per megawatt of nameplate capacity. Does not say output. It says nameplate capacity located in the county as of the 31st day of December of the preceding tax year. Now, there's a difference. If you say, well, we only generated 30 megawatts, we don't want to pay that much taxes. State law says per megawatt of nameplate capacity. It's an 80 megawatt facility. So devil's in the details. Now on to your zoning resolution. I went over this several times. I know we've all talked about it before too. Ohio Revised Code section 519.12, zoning amendments. Doesn't say anywhere in there, subject to the approval of the county prosecuting attorney. Just food for thought. All the way back in May of 2023, when we had choice one here, he ran down the details several times of the process. You can look at the revised code on the process. Once the trustees pass a resolution, it goes within 5 days to the zoning commission, who then has a set time period to get that sent to the county regional planning commission, not commissioners, not the prosecuting attorney's office. The regional planning commission is as far as I understand, a group of trustees. I think Commissioner Painter's on that as well, but it's a separate body. It's like a working committee. At the same time, the zoning commission actually gets a lot of responsibility as soon as you all pass this resolution on the zoning. They have the timelines. They host the public meetings. They have the notification requirements to the public. There's a lot of process, but the last point I wanted to make on this tonight, in lieu of that again, is I know that our attorney has said we're protected the way our current zoning is written, but technically speaking, we're protected from marijuana the same way because it's not explicitly listed as a special use case. So again, I'll reiterate like I did the last meeting, we're doing a moratorium on marijuana. Why aren't we explicitly doing one on solar as well? Let's shut it down very clearly, very point of fact, say this is explicitly stated. It is not approved until we put zoning in place.
It's in motion.
That's all I wanted to say.
It is in motion.
Well, I'm just saying,
They are
like,
listening.
again, it's like it comes up several times about that, and if we feel compelled to do it for the reasons of the marijuana dispensaries, why not for solar?
Could I get a simplified timeframe, what each person has to do as far as the zoning, the county, the commissioners? Just simplified.
There are several infographics that have been put out by other townships on their websites. I'll see if I can find one. It's like a flow chart. It says here from point A to point B to point C what we have to do. Now, I understand that, we have concerns to say, like, we want to make sure, since they're going to represent us, if there's a problem, that they're on board with it. But it feels to citizens in the community, I've heard it several times, that we're asking permission. And I think we need to be clear that we're not asking permission. We're looking for a vetting on legal terminology. It's a very different point of view. So that's all. It was just thoughts on that about the zoning. It's been such a big deal on the solar zoning. It's taken so long. We're so close. But, every time, I've heard the conversation several times that every time it gets to the prosecuting attorney's office, it just goes dark. So that's the concern as a citizen that I have about this, is that we're then going to go under attorney-client privilege. You can't talk to anybody about it again. It's all hidden right back into the dark and the hush-hush mode. So let's get it to the zoning commission so that it can be out in the light of day. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next one we have on the list is Jerry Wilson.
I wasn't going to talk, but in regards to the resolution, what the trustees are putting together here, and it's obvious that I don't live in Tate Township, but this is my hometown. I am starting to get involved with Williamsburg Township meetings because that's where I live now. We are facing the same thing with solar as Tate Township is. Ditto to a lot of stuff that shall be said, because I've done a lot of research myself. It takes time. Right now, with the Williamsburg Township, it takes time, and they have been working on this a long time. It is not something that happens overnight. So other townships, I can vouch for it. I'm attending my township meetings. They're going through the same struggles. And the same struggles with the attorney that's assigned to our trustees. They're hitting that roadblock too. Also, regarding the not being approved for the special meeting, if that wasn't approved, I know why would Fiscal Officer Kathy Brannick cut that check for that if it was not approved. And also the minutes, I have spent numerous hours on Tate Township's minutes, numerous hours on Williamsburg Township minutes. No offense to Kathy, taking everything word to word. That is why they're recording now. That is why things are being taped. Because I have sat in these meetings for almost a year now, missed a couple. The minutes that are out there on the website, that are official minutes. There's things that are in there that I sat right here and listened to the meeting and they weren't in there. So things are being missed, not intentionally, but I know things are being missed.
We're hoping to better that, like one of the videos, and
Yes.
and stuff, where she can go back and do things.
Yes.
I know exactly where you're set at, talk about.
Yes.
So that will give us a chance to approach this, and so we can get active
Yes,
and move forward.
yes. So thank you for your time. That's all I have to say.
I'm done. Make a motion, make a motion, All right. I can hear you now. You're still falling. Make a motion.
Yeah, they are.